Several thousand people packed into the Idaho Center today for a first ever event headlined by national political bigwigs.
Power Up Live is touted as a leadership forum, and our own Don Nelson sat down for exclusive one-on-one interviews with former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani and former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin. Big day.
It was a full day, Michelle Rowland. The former Alaska governor is very proud of her Idaho roots, from her birthplace up north to her days on the Palouse.
It's huge, and we still, we take vacation in Idaho. But having been born here, having graduated University of Idaho, sister having graduated from Northwest Nazarene, my dad was a teacher in Sandpoint. He grew up there. My grandpa had a fishing lure business in Hope, Idaho. My great-grandpa was the fire chief of the Pocatello Fire Department, and grandparents were married. We have big roots here in Idaho, northern Idaho, southern Idaho, and we just love the independence that is here, the natural beauty, the amazing natural resources that are here.
The tone with Rudy Giuliani was, of course, centered on 9/11. Giuliani was the face of 9/11, called America's mayor. I showed him the names of those killed at Ground Zero in a book called Portraits 9/11. He was visibly taken back when I started turning the pages.
You just happened to open to Father Michael Judge. Father Judge, I loved. Father Judge was as close as I've ever had to a real spiritual advisor. He helped me understand how to explain death.
Which he did a lot in the weeks and months following 9/11. Now, much more from both Sarah Palin and Rudy Giuliani coming up. He'll talk about his fight with prostate cancer, and he'll talk about why the Taliban and Al-Qaeda hate us so much.
And what about, did he realize what was happening when Osama bin Laden was killed? Do you talk with him about that?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a little tease. He was watching Geraldo on TV at the time.
I remember.
And they put up a flash that the president was going to speak that night. And he thought, that's odd. The president wouldn't speak on a Sunday night, or wouldn't have a press or a White House announcement on a Sunday night unless it was really big. And of course, as we found out, it was.
Yeah.
Plus, on a lighter note, you couldn't get him to stop talking about baseball either.
Oh, my goodness. I wish we had time to put all the stuff about... Scott would love it. It's all about the Yankees.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, so coming up a little bit later on our show, we're going to hear much more from both of these amazing political figures. Oh, thanks, guys. Sarah Palin, a name we all know quite well. She broke onto the scene as the vice presidential candidate back in 2008. Today, revisiting her Idaho roots and speaking with you.
She was here for the Power Up Leadership Conference over at the Idaho Center. If there's one thing about Sarah Palin, she loves Idaho. You're all Alaska, but your roots are from the gem state here in Idaho. Is that a big part of your makeup? The days you spent here?
It's huge, and we still, we take vacation in Idaho. But having been born here, having graduated University of Idaho, sister having graduated from Northwest Nazarene, my dad was a teacher in Sandpoint. He grew up there. My grandpa had a fishing lure business in Hope, Idaho. My great-grandpa was the fire chief of the Pocatello Fire Department, and grandparents were married. We have big roots here in Idaho, northern Idaho, southern Idaho, and we just love the independence that is here, the natural beauty, the amazing natural resources that are here.
That room was full of energy, but I'm assuming that you feed off that energy yourself, not only in large arenas like this, but on the road when you meet people.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this crowd at Power Up, they inspire me. And if you think about it, every single person in every single seat has their own story. They have their own challenges. They have their own goals and aspirations in life. And if I can share just a little bit, a couple of pictures that maybe help them stay determined to go reach one of their goals.
How about you? You're having fun. You're on the road. I'm not even going to ask you how many days, because you probably don't know that off the top of your head. But what about your future? I don't know politically where the future will land me, but having a good time still traveling across the country, Todd and I and our kids. We have
in fact, the kids are all over the world. Our son is deployed in Afghanistan. Another daughter's in London.
Yeah, I think we saw somebody last night.
Bristol, that's
Bristol,
right. She's
yeah.
in L.A. Well, she'll be home now because she got voted off last night.
saw
But
that.
bless her heart, she was on the All-Star season. That's pretty darn good.
So you have a new project coming up with the whole family's involved, right?
The whole family's
Everybody's
we're all
involved,
going
right?
to talk about self-responsibility. We're going to talk about making choices to stay healthy, to be fit, but still enjoy our comfort foods because we still love our mashed potatoes from Idaho.
Pizza?
Oh, we love our pizza.
Ice cream?
Here we go. Now I'm going to really start confessing.
We can still do
Yes.
the pizza and the ice cream and everything
In
else.
fact, one of the members of the audience stopped me to say, Alaska salmon goes very well with Idaho potatoes. I said, you know, that's a great little link right there.
And it's nice not talking about politics all the time, right?
Why do you think I'm grinning, man?
Yeah,
I'm
this is
having
a
a
lot
good
of fun.
time. It's
Let's just
great.
She did it. I was surprised. She didn't bring up politics at all.
Well, and the event wasn't based on
No, it
politics,
wasn't.
so
It
there was
wasn't.
something there. I had a little bird. Our executive producer went along and told me that Ms. Palin buttered you up a bit, though. Would you like to explain to everybody what she said when you walked into the
Roland's over
room?
there. He goes, yeah, tell me about it. Well, she was just very complimentary.
She said Don's handsome. He's handsome. So you know where the interview went from there.
How can you make that up, huh?
So coming up in just a little bit, we're going to turn the corner a bit. He was at the center of America's darkest day. More with Don and Rudy Giuliani coming up next. He's known simply as America's mayor. Rudy Giuliani, we're talking about a true American hero. Don, I can only imagine as a guy who is a history buff, who lived through 9/11 as a journalist, getting to interview Rudy Giuliani was a pretty big deal.
It's amazing what he remembers from that day and the people that he will never forget. When you discovered you had prostate cancer at the age of 55, you stood on that stage and said, I was the luckiest man on earth. Why?
I was the luckiest man on earth because I had been given an opportunity to do something to prevent my death. Some people don't get that opportunity.
Why do they hate us so?
They hate us because of their distorted, exaggerated, sick interpretation of their religion.
All the names, faces, the families, that day, their stories told in this book. Is there a day that doesn't go by?
You just happened to open to Father Michael Judge. Father Judge, I loved. Father Judge was as close as I've ever had to a real spiritual advisor. He helped me understand how to explain death.
He helped me turn that page, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's watching us.
Wow.
And you talk about being a history buff. It's called Portraits 9/11, and it has the stories of every person killed that day, their faces and their stories, because as we know, everybody has a story.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
was amazing we turned it right to that page.
Yeah, I know. Don actually came back into the newsroom and was a little shaken
Yeah, I
by
was
the
like,
entire experience.
thanks.
Obviously, you know, Mayor Giuliani a little bit shaken too there.
Yes.
Saying that. Real quickly, we know Rudy Giuliani is a huge Yankees fan, and let's say last night wasn't so good for him. So
Last night, he just wanted to talk about baseball and the New York Yankees. I asked him who his favorite Yankee was. He said Yogi Berra, because I grew up with him and he was a clutch hitter. He knows the Yankees are in a corner down 3-0.
Sure.
Scott will like this because he brought, you know, he mentioned
With the Red Sox?
Boston Red Sox. He says, hey, if the Red Sox can come back 3-0, there's no reason why the Yankees can't. But, yeah, that is his passion. And he's so upset with Joe Girardi for sitting A-Rod tonight. Very upset with him.
really?
Yeah, he might get on the phone and, yeah.
Well, they're having rain out, the last I heard. So,
Yeah.
all right, great interviews. It was interesting
It was
to
a lot
have
of
them
fun.
in town. Coming up next on Fox 9.